What's up, everybody? I have found, all alone, with no help from anybody else, the greatest ramen shop in Brooklyn.
Ooh.
Check it out.
Send me to my grave.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, baby, yeah.
Send me to my grave.
What? Big bitch gon' beat it down for me.
So about, let's say, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, I think it was like March or April 2023, Wifey and I stumbled into a ramen shop on 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn. And weren't looking for ramen at the time, just happened to be walking by and it seemed like a good idea at the time. We stopped in, and honestly, I hesitate to even say it because I really don't like giving too much praise to ramen shops, but this place is literally the best ramen shop I've had ever in Brooklyn, and probably New York City as a whole. It was great. So it's been a long time, obviously. It's been like 5 or 6 months since the first time we went in there, but I had video that I recorded when we were in there. Made like good rapport with the the wait staff and the people that were in there, and I never actually made a video, never actually made a actual review of the place. I think maybe I put up a picture on Instagram, but that's about it. And for somebody that does ramen reviews, I definitely have been slacking on putting this video out for you guys. So mark this down in your calendars, in your notepads, in your journals, or whatever, that the best ramen that you can possibly get in Brooklyn, and probably New York City as a whole, is at Oishi Ramen on 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn. Check it out. What I'm going to do, since I'm not actually at the restaurant now, I'm living in California now, I'm going to play the video for myself and just kind of like walk through a commentary of what deliciousness that you're seeing on the screen. And hopefully if you're on the East Coast, if you're in New York City and anywhere near Brooklyn, you stop by this place. I would go out of my way to go to this place. Most times I'll tell you I wouldn't go out of my way to hit certain ramen shops, but I would go if I was in the area. This place is different. Go out of your way to go to this place. Oishi Ramen in Brooklyn on 3rd Ave. It's just everything you need in life. So let's check this out together, shall we? Let's. All right, here we go. First off, anybody that knows me knows I like drinking. So if they have beer at Oishi, I always get my Sapporo with my ramen. Usually what I order here is the spicy tantan, and add extra chashu, extra egg, and extra spice on the side. Can't forget the extra spice. But if you look at this, it's just so nice. The broth is so delicious. It's not crazy oily. Of course, like the extra spice they give to you, it is oil based, but it has the chili flakes in there. But the broth by itself is just absolutely delicious. It's not super oily, and just oishi. And you can see from this picture here, like very first thing I do when I take in everything that just got put in front of me as far as my bowl, I take a sip of the broth first. One of my buddies, Ben, back in the day, if you were following my ramen adventures, you know Ben Zhang. He used to be a motorcycle rider in New York City, owned a ramen shop, and he always told me, or he told me when I started kicking it with him, try the broth first without the spice, because that's how you get a better understanding of how the broth actually tastes, like how they create the broth, how the broth, like how they put it together. So ever since then, I started getting spice on the side if I can. This bowl here, like if you see the egg right there that I just ate, amazing egg, marinated, cooked all the way through, but not hard boiled. Like it's still a little bit mushy, a little gooey, how I enjoy it. But marinated, great flavor. The broccoli pieces, I honestly, I don't even really get broccoli in ramen very often, but these broccoli pieces are like grilled, charcoal flavory, just deliciousness. I was blown away even by the broccoli. The broth, again, back to the broth and the chashu. You see how thick those pieces of meat are? I'm, you know, not trying to make a innuendo here, but I love some thick meat like that. And this is just an amazing, beautiful bowl. And I've had beautiful bowls of ramen before, but this is beautiful and delicious. It hits all the wickets. Thick pieces of chashu, it's charcoal, it's grilled, has delicious flavor. The broth is flavorful, has a lot of savory spices and saltiness to it. The egg is marinated, it's gooey, it's delicious. The broccoli is charred, broiled, has a little slice of seaweed. I don't really care too much for the seaweed, but it's a nice little added touch. And then the little ground beef that is in there as well, it definitely adds to the overall broth, because not so much while I'm eating it, because obviously you can't pick up the little pieces of ground beef with your chopsticks, but they get caught in the noodles, and it's actually kind of like a little present at the end when you're still trying to like finish off that broth. Those little pieces of ground beef are still left there at the end for flavor, for substance when you're finishing your bowl. So much appreciated. The noodles here, the noodles are even amazing in themselves. I know it's hard to understand how a noodle can be impactful in a bowl of ramen, but even the noodle should have its own sort of flavor, its own sort of like texture, and just, I don't know, it should be something different that you experience, something exciting and interesting about the bowl. Like the noodles here are just great. As you can see here, wifey going down on some noodles, eating the karaage chicken. That's her go-to bowl. She didn't do the spice like I did, but still enjoyed her karaage chicken ramen. The karaage chicken wasn't like a fried, breaded chicken like normal karaage chicken, but she seemed to like it. I liked it too when I tried it. Definitely great. Overall, again, this place is just amazing. Each bowl that we've had, every time we've gone, has been awesome. So I'm a big fan for sure. And as you can see from the look on her face, she loves it too. So this right here, this is kind of like as the bowl is dwindling down towards the end. The spice is probably kicked up a notch, because after you've been eating the spice for a while, it's really starting to kick the nostrils, the tear ducts, and everything else, getting the sweat glands going. But absolutely delicious. This is kind of a cool little cinematic experience with the light coming through the window and reflecting off the chashu. I mean, I don't want to be super artistic and romantic about a piece of pork and some chopsticks, but are you seeing what I'm seeing? This looks amazing. It's making me hungry right now as I'm watching this. I really miss Oishi ramen, because there's definitely no place I've even hit in California that is like this. There might be some out here, but I haven't hit it yet, that's for sure. Oishi was amazing. It was Oishi, for sure. And what's kind of funny too is that wifey, she didn't really know like ramen experience before me. But we went to a couple different places, but Oishi, once we went to Oishi, that was always the go-to. That's always the gold standard now. So it's actually now in California, it's kind of hard to find a good ramen shop, because that's what we have to compare to. And it's really hard to find something that goes up to that standard. But as you can see from the pictures, it's just an amazing bowl. Even at the end, the broth is just so delicious. I could, slurp up the rest of that broth. There's corn in it. There's little bean sprouts. They add a little bit extra to it. And, those little chunks of ground beef, ground turkey. I think it's ground beef. at the bottom. It's just so nice. So
Up next, we assign this ramen shop a slurp score, which gives us an overall rating based on broth, chashu, flavor, noodles, and toppings.
Oishi Ramen, 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn. They're closed Monday and Tuesday, but the rest of the week they're open. 3 p.m. till some nights 9 p.m., some nights 11 p.m. Thursdays until 10. They got sushi coming soon, at least according to their website. And honestly, they got a lot more on their menu than I even realized. In addition to the ramen, they also got like rice dishes, and you can build your own noodle bowl, basically like picking all the different broths, noodles, proteins, and toppings. So you can do that. There's also desserts, and then a very extensive cocktail menu. I never knew that either. Every time I gone in there, I've always just gotten the Sapporo. Like, I enjoy a nice cold beer with my ramen, whether that be Orion from Okinawa or Sapporo from Sapporo. Or whatever. I think it's like Asahi they might have also. Like any type of Japanese beer, cold beer, with a hot bowl of ramen, it's appreciated. Not that it's necessary, but I always like the shops that offer some cold beer with my ramen. And yeah, what else actually? So I don't think these people have been on 3rd Avenue that long actually. Maybe just a couple years. So if you're in the area, go by. Go to 3rd Avenue, go to Brooklyn, check out this spot, eat the ramen. The tantan, if you like spicy stuff, get the spicy tantan, add some extra spice if you're daring, and let me know what you feel about it, how you feel about it. Put it in the little description below this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Actually, just to know somebody went to go try the ramen after I recommended it would warm my heart, actually. But this is definitely by far, hands down, the best ramen you can find in Brooklyn and probably New York City. You should check it out. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Down below the video, hit the little subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, come back, hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I put out new content. I'm trying to do more ramen stuff. I'm trying to do more motorcycle stuff. And whatever you're into, I'm going to put out more of everything. So in the future, definitely more coming your way as far as ramen, because I'm going back to Japan in about 3 weeks or 2 weeks now, and gonna hit all my old original ramen shops and gonna make some videos for those too. So if you're interested in seeing even the comparison between Japanese ramen and US ramen, it's on the menu. Like I said, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. Go check out Oishi Ramen in Brooklyn on 3rd Avenue. And as I always say, leave this world better than you found it. Peace.
Go for it. Your first taste of ramen. How is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah? Delicious?
Very good. Very spicy.
Very spicy.
Whoa.
You got this.